Shalom, everyone. Welcome back to the Rabbi Money channel, Rabbi Money show. Again, I'm not Rabbi Money. There's one rabbi, if you can know his name. If you want to know, message me. I'll be happy to tell you about it. So, it's a secret. It's a secret. All right, so last time, it's been a while. A lot has happened. Last time we spoke, I told you that I would be working on getting Rabbi Money built up and an actual entity, a nonprofit with a mission statement. And I would walk you through that process so that you could know how to have a nonprofit and that kind of an entity. Remember, a nonprofit has to be for the public good. So that's what this channel is about sharing truth in a lyrical form by providing common sense education. And this is a piece of education that I didn't know about and I needed help. And so I am sharing it with you, so hopefully that you can learn from it. So if you live in your state, respective state, you would go to the Secretary of State and you would file articles of incorporation. So here is, this is all public record, so there's no point in blurring it or anything. But the Secretary of State form, so you would fill it out, the name of the corporation, the address, and if you have an agent of process, and then your mission statement. So we've done that, and then you sign it. If it's a nonprofit, then you would check different boxes. This is for California, so California's form looks like this. And then after you are done filling it out correctly, and remember, in the United States, they're wanting you to be successful and be innovative in business and helping people. And so those departments, they're for you. If you make an error, they're going to tell you and you have to correct them, but they're not trying to receive bribes or be corrupt like other countries. And so we're really blessed in America in that regard. So I'm really thankful for that. So the filing fee for this is $30, and then after you do that, you get your filed stamp and your filing number and your filing date. So now I'm officially a articles filed, and then you can also create an additional article that explains who you are. And this one is for us because it's not, you can attach it if they'll let you to their articles and put it in your file, because sometimes if your mission statement is longer, like mine is providing truth in lyrical form by giving common sense education and empowering the people through hope, joy, and shalom. So if your articles, your mission statement or something is different, you've had it prepared by a lawyer or you have other things in it, you can get that filed as well, but it's dependent upon your state, your local jurisdiction. So that is the next step. And then so after you get your EIN number, your article filed, that will generate for you the ability to get an entity number. So an entity number is something that you could get through filing a statement of information. So that's called an SI. That form is called an SI. So file the statement of information, and that's like $20, I think. So now we're $50 in, and we have articles filed and statement of information. The next thing that we need is an EIN number, and so we have to talk with the federal government as well and let them know who we are and what we're about, because we want the status of nonprofit public charity so that we can communicate with corporations and get their aid in doing our good works and whatever you're interested in. We have this for Leoa Foundation, where we feed the hungry, and we have this for Rabbi Money, or whatever nonprofit that you want to start. And this is a pathway to wealth for business, in the business sector, because if you've read Robert Kiyosaki, he tells you that the rich don't own anything; their corporations own things. And if you look at the ultra wealthy, Bill and Melinda Gates, Amazon uh, CEO and founder, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they all have their own private foundations. So they can be charitable, and they can direct those funds to programs that they're interested in and giving back to the community where they're interested in. And so we're going to go along the process and discuss more and more about that. But I hopefully encouraged you today by coming back. It's been a long time since I posted. I appreciate your patience. We had my grandfather passed away from COVID, 92 years old, and we had our whole house was struck, we believe, with the Delta variant, and um, we all have natural antibodies now. And mom was in the hospital with double pneumonia, and dad also briefly in the hospital. So, that being said, it's taken a while for us to recover and get back on track. And that, with that and homeschooling and everything that we're doing, it has been a journey. So, I just wanted to thank you for your patience. And also, I just on a side note, uh, want to apologize if I wasn't very authentic in my presentation in the previous videos. Um, I wouldn't say, I don't know what the right word is, but trying to put on airs or maybe a show. I want to be a little bit more real and true to who I am. Um, you know, so, we're influencers, obviously, because we create content, but then we also get influenced by you, the community. And I was being influenced by the community, and I think some of the influence was great influence, like dress nicer, um, put on a jacket and hat and all that. And some people said, be Rabbi Money, and there were different influences. And I would just say that, I thought about that, and I thought that the probably, I like watching people that are real and not fake. I mean, fake can be fun too. Obviously, actors are funny, and they can be enjoyable, or drama or whatever. But I personally wanted to create content and be real with you, and so this is how I'm going to do it, is by just being myself, wearing what I normally wear. I'm not like wearing Gucci or Prada or anything like that. And I've been retired ish. I would say, like, let me say it this way: I don't have to work, and I have funds to live my life. I don't have to go get a job, but I know from being retired and binging Netflix for months that that gets really boring, or sipping Mai Tais or whatever people want to do when they retire on a beach. And I didn't want to do that with my life. I wanted to give back and do something. And so that's why I search for what I'm interested in and my passion. And yeah, so I'm gonna go forward with that. On the part about being truthful, I thought this was very interesting, and like I'm searching for truth and giving truth in lyrical form, so that means I have to be truthful, and I wanted to share this with you. So when I was younger, it was more important for me to impress people with titles and who I am and what I've done and etc. etc. And I still have like a reminiscent feeling about that, or where I try to reach back to that. And I joined a community online where I was part of a group, and people were like, "Oh, Rabbi Money," and I would put on this air like, "Oh, I was an investment banker and I had my securities license and da 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 da." And then someone asked me about options, and I was like clueless. Although I had passed the test and I should know about options, I really didn't deal with options on the day to day, and so I have nothing to teach or say about options. Actually, was more of a money mover and an encourager in getting people in the right direction, and that was my function as an investment banker. So there's different levels of investment bankers and different levels of knowledge. So just because someone online says, "Oh, I work for Barclays and blah 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 blah," doesn't mean they know a thing. May have educated themselves and be able to speak, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they know a thing. So that is something that I wanted to kind of encourage and share with you is I'm working toward truth and being like truthful and honest in my presentations with you. And I think one of the things that I'm researching, and I remember these things from my testing and passing the test, but I never operated in them day to day, which is buying covered calls and selling puts, I believe, which is a wheel. I'm still learning, so there's lots of videos on it that you can watch. But I always stayed away from options because I didn't want to operate in margin. And I'm finding out that I was wrong even saying that you have to operate in margin. You don't have to operate in margin to work in options. You can use options and leverage options to get premium or paid, uh, and buy things at a lower price point if your option gets assigned. So, and like I said, I might be jacking up or not saying everything correctly because I'm still learning and refreshing myself on how to operate in options. But I'm going to be, I told you in another video that I was going to be working on Webbull and crypto and taking an account from a little amount to a large amount. I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm not really even interested in that project because I primarily use other platforms, and I may end up using Webbull again because I really love their charting and some of their features. Um, However, I'm probably going to be using my Robinhood account where I already have funded it with some funds and can do this wheel strategy with options. So I will be trying to take or share with you some of those trades and let you see how they go for me, whether they're big successes or failures or what. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going. I'm still going to use my fundamentals that I used to get to financial freedom, because you don't have to be an options trader to um, get to freedom. There's so many pathways into freedom financially or wealth that you can find that are solid principles. The problem is if you're trained from someone or mindset or a family that doesn't have wealth principles and you operate in non-wealth principles, then you don't get to freedom. That's another interesting thing to talk about, which is freedom. What are you trying to get free from? And if it is from work, you don't understand life. Like you don't. I didn't understand life. I thought if I got free, that would be amazing, and I could get to, uh, like sipping mai tais or I don't drink, but doing what I want to do with my time, and that is true. Money will bring you time freedom. However, it doesn't. it doesn't necessitate not working. Working is actually very healthy and good for you, gives you purpose. So freedom means I don't have to go to McDonald's if that's not what I'm passionate about. I can work at Target, or I can work at Home Depot, or I can work for myself, or I can work in carpentry, or I can, you get the picture, work in the nonprofit sector, or I can travel and be a travel vlogger. Whatever you're passionate about, or whatever that you really enjoy, and look into your childhood. I personally, I think children have a good barometer of what they want to be and what they like, because they're very free as before they're corrupted. I know some children get abused, and there's really hardships that happen, and I pray for those people, and that they grow up and that they can overcome those things through the secret guy that I was talking about. But um, that rabbi, there's a rabbi that I really recommend. Anyways, so this is the Rabbi Money Show, and I would just encourage you to reevaluate some of your thinking process, if you're trying to break from poverty to wealth. Poverty is not bad, but poverty can be a very good thing, a healthy thing. Um, Blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are the poor. So poor are blessed. There's a blessing for being poor, and so famous rabbi said that, and so and the poor will always have with us. We know some very famous people that were poor, or chose to be poor in the way that they lived their day-to-day lives, and had a huge impact on the world. And so uh, I would just encourage you to go forward in your truth journey with me, and even on your own. Seek truth, apply truth, and grow. I hope you're having a great day. Shalom, shalom.